So this video is about UK struggles no one talks about. I'm sharing this because I have so many questions, people asking me, Auntie, how did you manage? I get stressed. My WhatsApp is full of people who are so depressed because of their experiences in the UK. But this video is going to encourage you that, you know what, it is normal. So I want to share my own stories so that you know that what? We have been there. So we were in such storms. I was in such storms, but now I'm telling a different story. Now I'm telling you a story, right? When I first came to the UK, obviously the weather is something else. I came in December and it was cold, right? And my first job, I worked in a care home and my shift pattern was always 6 o'clock, right? Was always 6 o'clock. I was working for an Asian couple and getting paid. I was paid from their pocket. I never used to get a pay slip. It was hard work. Okay. I also worked in the factory, chicken factory, banana factory, sandwich factory. The cold rooms, it was very cold. We used to wake up very early in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. You go to the agency offices where you're going to be you just packed in a van and or you driven like an hour and a half away for work. We did that. In the process of working like that, I was fired from the chicken factory. The reason being, I was not fast because, you know, the conveyor belts. So the chickens would be coming like very fast. So my role was to pick the chicken and put it on another rail, which was going to transport the chicken to someone else who was going to do another task. But then the chickens were actually falling on the ground because I was at the end of the conveyor belt and I could not keep up with the speed. And then I was fired from that job. Now I need to look for another job. That was hard. Now I was still new in the UK, and guess what? A message came from home. My mother was seriously sick and she was dying. That was the message. Anything can happen anytime. My God. I cried. And imagine you have a husband who is not supportive, who is always telling you that what's so special about having parents, because his parents died when he was young. So I was not allowed to mention anything about my parents. He would silence me immediately. He didn't want to hear about it. I suffered. Of course, people say, oh, you're married. But in my own marriage, there are some struggles that I faced that I could not share with him because, especially regarding my parents, he didn't want to hear anything about them. Anything. He would tell me, what's so special about parents? I grew up without parents. And imagine, back home, they'll be expecting you to send at least $10 to take your mom to the doctors, but I could not mention it. I could not mention it because it would cause fights, more stress, more depression. Okay? I'm saying this because so that you know that you may be going through a similar situation. You're not the only one. So I'm just telling you as it is. This is now stories that we're talking about. I was not allowed to mention anything to do with my parents. Imagine your mother being sick. The first person you would want to tell is to tell your husband, and but I could not. I could not do it. I could cry on my own. God, that's why I ended up getting depressed. And no one noticed that I was depressed. But I knew that there's something wrong with me. I think I'm going to go mental. I thought I was going to go mental. No one understood me. I went to church all the time. I think people who I used, my friend invited me to go to church. And even going to church was not easy. Sometimes I would be stopped. You are not going to that church. You know, the husbands. You have to listen to what your husband says. Sometimes I would be stopped. You're not going to church. But that was where I would pour my heart out. I would cry to God. Every Sunday when they say, does anyone need prayer? I was the first person to go. Every Sunday. I think people who used to go to that church with me, they would know that this woman was always going for prayer. Why? Every time they called for a prayer, who needs a prayer, I would be the first person in the front seat. Why? Because I was overwhelmed. In a foreign land, and a husband who's not supportive, who is always thinking about himself. It was hard. Who doesn't even want to hear your struggles? Who doesn't even want to hear about your parents, their struggles? Especially when your parent is sick, guys. You're being fired from a job. We're being told that your parent is dying. And you have a husband who doesn't want to hear anything about your parents. Is there anything worse than that? That was hard. That made me think. There's a time when I was thinking, if I'm like, this is like this, I may die and no people will never know what really happened to me. That was me thinking. One day I was going to work, I was crying in the bus, and I think this woman who looked at me was like, what's wrong with this woman? That was the life. Crying. Going to work, I'm not being paid. This Asian couple, they were paying me when they feel like, in that time we didn't even know the law. We didn't know my right as an employee because I was an immigrant. I had no one to ask because I was trying to get some friendships. People I would talk to, people I would trust, but I wouldn't trust anyone with my stories. It took me a long time for me to get to have friends, especially when I started going to uni. That's when I met some friends who would understand my situation, who would understand my marriage, because I was newly married. Because I started staying with a husband in the UK. That's when I was starting to say, wow, this is the reality of marriage, right? It was hard. It was hard. So you can manage that. You're in a foreign land, husband not supportive, you're being fired from a job. Okay? And a lot more. A lot of issues. It was hard. So I want you to know that now, 20-something years later, I'm now narrating this story. This could be you years later talking about this. But I want you to persevere. I want you to trust God. I want you to believe God that all things are going to be possible. And in the middle of all these struggles in the UK, people back home, they don't know that you're struggling. Sometimes don't even tell them. They're sending text messages. Can you please send me a $5? Can we send me a $10? Yeah, and yet you're not working, right? You're not working. There's no money at all. Maybe the rent is not even enough. And they're saying, can you please send me this much? Can you please send me this much? Okay? It's not that you give them, but the fact that you're just being sent messages, people asking for money, they don't understand it. Okay? They don't understand it. They don't understand what you are really going through. But that's what's life. Sometimes you do the jobs that when I think about the jobs that I used to do, I ask myself, how did I cope? We used to go to this place where we used to fry meat, like the prepacked meat. It was hot. It was like a blast furnace. We worked in there, and I used to have headaches all the time. And the working conditions were not good. But we continued. We persevered. I persevered because I was not the only person, others as well. I remember when we used to go to that place, we were 5 of us, and 3 of them said, no, we cannot do this. Why? Because they had family. But me, I did not have family to bounce back to. It was only me. Okay? If it is now, things like there are times when my things don't go on okay. I don't worry at all. It's just a text message to my brother, a text message to my sister-in-law, a text message to my sisters. Can you please help me if I need help? I have so much help around me. This is what I really wanted back then. I said, if I had someone here, they would help me. So I thought, I'm gonna start bringing my family, my siblings. And bringing my siblings was not as easy, very easy, to the point that when my brother managed to get his ticket to come to the UK, my ex-husband said, where did your brother get that money from? Because you're very poor. He cannot afford a ticket. Your family is very poor. Where did your brother get the money to buy the ticket? Right. I'm sharing this to tell you that we faced so many challenges in the UK, different kinds of challenges. Some are private, some people don't want to share, but I'm sharing this to encourage you because these are stories of the past. All my siblings are now settled, and I'm glad about that. But I faced the challenge. I struggled. Okay? And even when my brother came, we had a 2-bedroom house. We had another spare bedroom. I don't want to go into detail about really what happened, but the abuse that was happening there, I My brother understood the situation. He understood the disrespect that was going on there. He understood because I told him. But that was not even a problem now because I knew that, you know what? Now I've got one of my siblings here. If anything happens to me, he'll be the first person to look for me. Say, Thandi has gone quiet. Where is she? So if you are here on your own and you have no one, I totally understand you. I totally understand you. I totally understand you. But there's one thing that I want you to do, to belong to a church. You're not alone. Belong to a church. As I said, every Sunday when there's an altar call, when there's a call for prayer, I was there every Sunday. I think people were like, what's wrong with this woman? Yes, there was a lot of things wrong. There was a lot of things that were wrong. Okay. So that's that. We talked about not a supportive husband in a marriage, a lot of challenges back home. You hear that your parent is not feeling well, you're not able to help because of the situation. Jobs are not coming up. I'm being fired from a job. I'm trying to look for a job. At the same time, I'm trying to sort out my visa so that my visa doesn't expire. Okay. But all this, I don't think my ex-husband didn't care about that. I don't think he even knew, but I had to be really careful about my own visa because I didn't want it to expire. So it's hard. It's very difficult if you are here and you don't have a supportive partner. That's hard work. I totally understand you. I totally hear you. Right? I totally hear you. So things are going to get better. Okay, if you want to know more about my life in the UK, my experiences, I'm going to share them here. So my next video, I'm going to be sharing when I started going to college and the challenges that I faced. Because I know some of you would want to go to university and some of the challenges that you may face. And that is going to encourage you to carry on. The UK is a beautiful country. It's a really, really nice country. I like it. I appreciate the opportunity to be here because it changed my life. It changed my family's life, and it made me able to help other people as well who are close to me. Even though I'm not helping them every time, but when I get an opportunity, I help, which was not going to be able. I was not able to do probably if I didn't come here. Okay, so be encouraged. Be hopeful. Keep believing God. Don't lose hope. Find a church that you belong to, especially a church of people who understand you, people who understand where you're coming from, people who understand help. What does it mean to help a sister? People who understand, the churches that understand just checking on someone. Follow up. Just follow up. Calling, how are you? How are you doing? You'll find one or two people in church who always try to find who you feel comfortable talking to, or who actually check on you. Or you find a pastor who is easy to approach. It is very, very important. Okay, so I know the first 5 years you struggle. We all have been there. A lot of changes, the immigration laws changing. You're always checking. Are there anything that has changed? The news, the papers, gov.uk, checking so that you are always on point on what is changing. Right? So guys, I hope this helps you. If you want to hear more about life in the UK, my experiences and what I've gone through, don't forget to comment, subscribe and follow. I'm going to be sharing a bit of this because it's going to answer quite a number of people who have been asking me questions. Some people who have been, this girl was so depressed, and if you don't call me, I'm going to kill myself. I was like, stop. I want you to stop. Don't do that. Okay. So we spoke. I ended up referring her to places where she was having some counseling, and we spoke about a lot of things, and she's getting better. You see, some of the things that you think are worse for you, it's not even worse than what we've gone through. So when I started talking to her, I was like, she said, Auntie, did you really go through that? I said, yes, I did. Even worse. When I told her my story, she's following, she'll hear this. When I told her my story, she was like, oh my God. Oh my God. I said, yes. Yeah, that's what it is. There are some people who have gone through the worst, but if they don't share their experiences, you never know. You'll be thinking, my God, I think my life, God has forgotten me. Why is this happening to me? It's not only you, it's an experience. Okay, God is preparing you. Now I'm sharing my story. Okay, these are now stories. Okay, so this is life in the UK. You could be in any country. It's just applicable to any immigrant. When you go to a foreign land, you need time to settle. Okay, you need time to settle. Sometimes it can take years and years, especially if you're by yourself, you don't have a family or even close friends who will check on you. And the other thing in the UK, people don't visit each other. People are busy working. So if you're coming from Africa where you'll be visiting each other and all that, it doesn't happen here. People are busy. People, when their offices that they're resting because they've been working so hard or they've taken an additional shift. So there is no one to entertain you. You need to find ways to entertain yourself. That's why going to church is one of the things that you need to do. Going out is one of the things that you have to learn to do. Find ways of hanging around with people, going out on your own. You don't need a crowd, by yourself. Very important. Okay, guys, you take care and miss me in my next video.